Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So guys, as you can see from today's title, you know that it's about to go down. So yes guys, I tried something way out of my comfort zone. I tried online dating apps in the UK, a couple of them. Yeah, a few of them during the summer vacation, but even before then I tried I think one of them in December last year, like just for a couple of days to satisfy my curiosity, see what's out there really. So yes guys, that's what I'm going to be talking about in today's video. I'm going to be sharing my experience on the app during the few days that I spent on the app, and the people that I met there, what my intentions were for going on the apps anyway. And also I learned a few things about myself talking to these random people, so I intend to share some of these lessons here in today's video as well. So if you can relate to anything that I'm going to be talking about in today's video, if you've tried these apps before, you're here in the UK, you've tried them, and feel free to share your experience in the comment section as well. And if you find anything relatable, feel free to mention it in the comment section below. Basically, let's just get interactive in the comment section. Yes guys, if you're new here, my name is Senna, and on this channel I post content relating to my life living abroad as an international student. Sometimes I share informative content relating to the process that you need to go through to come abroad to study as well, and then at other times I share random content like these as well as vlogs. So if you are feeling the vibe, kindly consider joining the family. Just click on the red subscribe button down below, and also click on the bell icon close to it so that I get notified anytime I upload a new video. So without further ado guys, let's get right into it. Okay guys, so hopefully this video is not going to be all over the place, but yeah, here we go. So a few weeks back I shared a video where I talked about, I was basically asking the question why as women we constantly have this desire to want to be with a man or something like that, even though you're not ready, like even when the situation is just not right, like you just have this desire constantly to have this other person with you. So I'm going to leave that video in the description box below if you've not seen it already. I'll leave a picture on the screen as well. But yeah, so from that video, like it will make more sense. It will make much more sense to you if you watch that video, and why I decided to join a dating app. Like that is one of the reasons why I shared several reasons or potential reasons why we have this desire as women. So basically, like I'm a single lady, and I've just come into the UK, and I'm also a home person. I don't go out very often, and then people around me would say, how are you going to meet people if you don't go out? And in the UK, dating apps is one of the best ways to meet people, because unlike Ghana, you don't have people approaching you on the streets or when you go out like that easily to talk to you and stuff like that. So that is one of the reasons, just to put myself out there basically. But mind you, I'm still not ready for like a relationship. I know in my heart that I'm not ready. Apart from that, also like people around me, like colleagues from school, uni, I've had a few colleagues who mentioned that, oh, like they've met this person and they've met that person. That also piqued my curiosity. Like I felt like I was missing out in a way, like it wouldn't cause any harm. It's just an app, right? Like I'm not meeting these people in person. I don't have to meet them if I don't want to. So yes, it's just like multiple factors, the desire, peer pressure. Like nobody can pressure you really, but when you're around people and they keep talking about certain things, like you can't help but wonder like what's this all about. And even back when I'm in Ghana, before I came here, I know some people do online dating back home in Africa and stuff like that, but it's not as common as it is here in the UK. So yes, before I came, I have always been curious about dating apps. Like what do people do there? Like what is the possibilities out there? Like what kind of people can you meet? Stuff like that. So in December, like I mentioned earlier, the first app I downloaded was Bumble. Yes, so I downloaded that in December last year. I was there like for less than 3 days. because like I just didn't like how Bumble works. Like you have to be as a lady, you have to be the one initiating conversations with guys. I don't really mind that. It's just that that's not how my brain is wired. Like that's not how I was brought up. Like my Christian and African culture brought me up in the way that like I'm supposed to be the one that is being sought after and not the other way around. So it just didn't sit well with me. I tried but like it just didn't sit well with me. I didn't feel comfortable doing that. Like, so yes, that was it with the app. Like after 2 days, I think I deleted it on the second day. And I didn't really talk to people like that because I was, shy of initiating a conversation. I didn't want to come across as desperate and stuff like that. So yeah, I deleted it at the time and then I forgot about the app. So that was my first experience. I did see like, a few people on there, like very, cute, because these apps are just physical, right? Like you've never spoken to these people, it's just their profile that you have access to. And then, so I'm not gonna lie, in my opinion, like you're really judging people based on their physical appearance and whatever information they put out on their profile. Like there's no way for you to verify. You're just going by what you are seeing. So yes, that was it with Bumble. And then during the summer vacation, as soon as like I submitted my last assessment, I'm like, okay, let's have some fun. I was that very day that I submitted my assessment, I decided to download Hinge. So Hinge was the second app I downloaded. I was there also. Like Hinge is one of my favorite ones out of all three. The third one I downloaded was Interracial Dating Central, because I wanted to, I don't know, meet white people, white guys or whatever. But again, I didn't spend much time on the app because what I realized was that even though I was getting lots of people liking my profile and trying to match with me, most of them were like way older. Yes, and then I met some other interesting young people as well. I'm going to give you all that gist. And then the third one was Hinge. So yes, those were the apps that I downloaded. I didn't spend long on Bumble. I didn't spend long on Interracial Dating Central, and the longest I spent was on Hinge, and that was like a week and a half. I downloaded Hinge twice. The first time I downloaded it, I deleted it after 3 days, I think, and then I downloaded it again because I was bored and I'm like, who am I gonna talk to? And I downloaded it again. So yes, those were the three apps I used: Bumble, Hinge, and Interracial Dating Central. So like it's really interesting the kind of people that you meet on these apps. Before going on the app, like I said, it was just out of curiosity and just the desire to meet people, to talk to people, but I hadn't really defined certain things for myself, like what I was really looking for, like what is your intention for being on this app, what are you hoping to get out of these random conversations that I'm having with people, stuff like that. I didn't think about any of this. I just went on because everybody is going on dating apps in the UK. Let me also go and see what's there. So yes, I did meet people. I took my time to create like a nice profile for myself. So can you not see me? So me a fine girl. I did have people, send me like my pictures or just comment. Usually the people that I would respond to would be someone who has taken their time to not just like my picture, but like comment like on something that I've written on my profile. Or even if you're liking my picture, I would prefer that you say something I just like. So I would usually, check out people who have, commented on my pictures or something I've written on my profile, and I'll check them out. And if I, if I like what I see, then I match with them and we begin a conversation. So I did meet a few people. I met mostly Nigerian guys, but I met some white people as well. So I'm going to talk about like the three main people that I met, all of them on Hinge. So I am one very confident gentleman. Confidence, which is something that I find very attractive, because I find that most men sometimes, can't talk to you really, or I don't know what it is, but like that kind of confidence vibe. I really find it attractive. So this, this gentleman, liked one of my pictures that I put on my profile, and he, commented that he really likes what he's seeing. That he, guys, I didn't know I was going to make this video. I would have brought, tried to keep the conversations, but when I deleted the apps, that's it. I don't have anything to show for it. But from what I can recollect, like, he was just confident in approaching me with his intentions, really, that he liked what he was saying. He wanted to get to know me more, and that he wanted to meet me, so yes, I really liked the way he came to me, and I matched with him, and then we started talking. Yeah, it was really interesting how you see these people, and then you begin to talk to them, and the conversation is like, how they approach is like up here, and then once you begin to talk to them, it just goes downhill. And before going on this app, like, one of the things was that I didn't, like, I've not really had a chance to interact with men as much. So I thought this would give me the opportunity to gain that confidence in talking to men. But what I realized was that, like, I could even talk more than some of the men that I met here. So this gentleman very confidently approached me, but once I got to know him, I think he asked for my number a few days after we got talking, and I gave it to him. I don't mind giving my number out, but because, what's the block button there for? Once things don't go so well, I can easily block you. So yeah, I gave it to him, and then we got talking, and then what I noticed was that he began to, like, when you're talking to someone, and then suddenly they begin to, not give you as much attention. Like, they'll give you a little attention, and then they'll like go for, days or hours before responding to you, whereas that's not how they began with you. Like, that's the kind of vibes I began to get from him. And I told him that this is what I've noticed, that I was not here to play games. And I really told him my mind that I've noticed that this is what he's doing, and that if he's here to play the usual games that guys would usually play, I don't know, like, I try to find out about it, and I noticed that there's this term called breadcrumbing, and that's what some people try to do. Like, I know you're not dating or anything yet, but if you are having a conversation with someone, you should be going back and forth, or even if you're busy or something, you should let the other person know that, oh, that I'm busy at this time, that, like, let's talk later. But you'll be talking, and then suddenly, like, anyway, so after that thing happened, my interest in the conversation or whatever could potentially happen just went downhill from there, and I withdrew as well, and we started talking less and less, and that's how that ended. He wanted to meet me, but I was no longer interested, so that's how that ended. And then I met another gentleman, another Nigerian vibing gentleman. Oh, don't we love our Nigerian men? Like, they are really interesting. Yes, let's call this guy John. Like, John started talking, and we talked a lot on the app, and we tried to one day make a phone call in the app, and it was messing up. I don't know if it was network issues or whatever, and so he asked for my number in that instance. So I gave it to him, and then we moved from the app onto normal phone, and we got talking. At the time that I started talking to John, he was about to travel for holidays a few days later. So we'll be talking like what kind of dresses is going to pick out, like, just vibing, talking. And then he started doing the same thing that the first guy did. Like, he would go for hours when we get like in the middle of conversation. He would go for hours without responding, and I made it clear to him that I prefer that people let me know when they're busy, so that I'm not there, expecting or anticipating that you're going to text me and then nothing comes up, and then I begin to get worried that, oh, what happened? Like, are you okay? And stuff like that. So he said, oh, that he was sorry, blah blah blah, and that was it. And then we got back to talking, and then he did the same thing again, and then he would do the same thing again, and I'm like, I don't have to put up with this. Like, we have not even started anything yet, and this is the kind of confusing vibes I'm getting from you. So no, that was it. I had to put an end to that as well, and started talking less and less, and that's how that ended as well. And then I met my Italian stallion. Yes, this older gentleman, like, you know, texted me or like what I'm saying, blah 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 blah. He asked for my contact. I gave it to him. He'll text me when he's at work, you know, the kind of people who like to make you know that, you know, they've got something going on for them, that he's busy going for meetings and meetings. I don't know. I didn't know, but he was really insistent on meeting me, and he would, you know, the way the conversation was going, the kind of things that he would say, that he am I ready to meet an Italian stallion? What do you mean by that? What do you mean by Italian stallion? So yes, I knew that that was not the kind of thing I was looking for, and I made him aware that I'm not looking for that kind of thing, situation, if you know what I mean. After I sent him that text message, he did not respond again. So yes, that's how that ended as well. So yeah, I deleted Hinge a week and a half later. I just, you know, reflected on how things were going. I spoke to so many other people, some very interesting, like just friendly conversations, like where are you from? Like I met different people. I met an Eritrean guy. It was just like friendly vibes and things like that. So that was really interesting to speak to all these people, not on a relationship level, just getting to know people and talking to guys after a very long time. I don't think that I've really interacted with guys in that way. I went to a girls' senior high school when I was in high school in Ghana, and then in university I didn't have many friends, so I didn't make lots of friends like that. So I've not really interacted with people like that. So it was a nice experience to, you know, interact with all these random people. But the main reason why I thought I would film this video is because I reflected on this whole experience after I deleted all the apps. I'm like, okay, I'm not ready for this. I don't have time for this. I don't even know the real reason why. Like, I've not defined what I want out of talking to all these people. So I just deleted it, and I reflected on it, and I wrote down a few things that I would like to sort out before I start any dating relationship or whatever. Am I going to go back to the apps? Maybe once I'm done with my course and I submit my dissertation and all of that, and I don't have any, you know, academic obligations, maybe I will again, just for the fun of it. But for now, no, I'm not going to download any dating apps anytime soon. So yes, but I did write down a few things that I would like to, you know, share about this experience that I had on these apps. And the first thing I have here is that you need to establish what you're looking for, like what the goal is for being on the apps in the first place. Like, why are you entertaining all these random conversations? What do you want out of a dating relationship? Are you looking to just vibe with people? Are you looking to make friends? Are you looking for a relationship that could potentially lead to marriage? Stuff like that. I feel like, you know, defining these things for yourself would help you sort out the kind of people that you give your time to. You know, yeah, it's really important that you have a goal, right? Like, for everything, it's important that you have a goal, because it would give you a sense of direction. Yeah, so I think that's one of the first things that I wanted to say. You need to know if you're ready to, you know, commit to anything with anyone. Do you want to date with purpose? Like I said, do you want it to lead to marriage? Because you don't want to spend another couple of years. Like, for me personally, I don't have another couple of years to enter into a dating relationship and then break up and then have to heal. So I want to be very intentional when I am ready to date again. I want it to lead to something. So should I start dating now? I know that I don't want to, I want to set certain boundaries for myself, so that if things do not end up the way I want them to go, then I won't end up getting so hurt, if that makes sense. So yes, that's one of them. And then the second thing I have here is that you need to know who you are as a person. Oh my God, this is so important. You need to recognize your worth so you don't accept anything less than the very best. So if you don't know your worth, like as a person, people are going to define that for you, you know, and you won't even realize that that's what's going on. Like, people are just going to keep chipping at the little self-esteem you have left. And so it's really important, in my opinion, that you know your worth as a person. Know that you are very valuable. We all are, and sometimes we don't know it enough. So it's important that you spend some time working on yourself, developing yourself, and, you know, just realizing for yourself as an individual that you are worth so much, so that you don't entertain just anything. So that's the second thing. And the third thing I have here is that you need to have standards and resolve to stick to them. So to be honest, like, there's just so much chaff out there. Like, people are just there for random hookups. If that's what you're into, like, I'm not judging you, but if you're looking for something more serious for your future, then you want to have standards. Like, you want to have boundaries that you are not going to cross. If you have sometimes you even have to write these things down. Like, for instance, as a young Christian woman, for instance, I don't want to do certain things before I get married. So you want to have all these things set, like written down somewhere, or firmly established in your head, so that you can, you know, put these across when those conversations comes up, and then you have to be firm about them, kind of thing. So yes, that's the third thing. And then fourthly, you need to work on yourself to a certain standard. Let me explain what I mean by this. So we are all looking for, you know, people that we could potentially end up with, who would, you know, bring out the best in us. Who can, for instance, I'm a woman, I hopefully want to end up with a man who can lead my home, who can, you know, lead my family when we eventually create one, and stuff like that. So I want this person to be at a certain level. They should be working, like, should be a man of substance, and should, you know, have certain qualities. But as you are seeking for these things in someone else, do you have those things? Like, are you valuable yourself? So you want to work on yourself to a certain level. Do you need to get an education to improve on yourself? Do you need to work? Do you need to go into counseling, therapy to, you know, tackle some traumas from your past, you know, some childhood traumas or whatever? Like, most of the time we know the issues that we have. Like, you want to work on yourself so that whoever you're going to meet, as the person is bringing value, as you're expecting that this person is going to be, you know, an asset to you, you also want to be an asset to someone, if you get what I mean. So yes, that's what I mean by that fourth point. And then finally, I realized that we have control of our emotions. Like, we have so much control of our emotions that sometimes you don't realize it. Like, I talk to so many people. Sometimes when I'm talking, like, I'm the kind of person who cannot talk to multiple people at the same time. So I need to talk to one person, and if that needs to end, like, it needs to end, push it aside, and then I move on to the next person. I talked to a couple of people, and then anybody that I talked to, I had a little bit of an emotional connection with. And then if that doesn't go so well and it ends, I realize I'm able to move on quickly to the next person, and I form that connection. Like, you can control your emotions. Like, you can control, like, you can like someone easily and unlike them when that situation ends. Like, you don't have to be tied down to this one person. Like, when you are with someone and then that relationship breaks down and you're about to die. Like, we have so much control of our emotions than we realize sometimes. So yes, these are some of the things that I noticed about myself, I learned about myself, that I thought I'd share. Yes, guys, so that's all I have to say about this. As you can see, it's not a lot, because I really did not spend a lot of time on this app. I just did not have the patience for some of the things that were going on. So yes, that's all I have to say in today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you found anything relatable, if you have, you know, been on these apps before, feel free to share your experience in the comment section below. Like, what were your intentions? Like, what were you looking for? Did you find it? Do you have any tips for us in getting better quality people to, you know, match with, things like that? Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, guys, click on the red subscribe button. Help your girl reach her goal of 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Thank you all for the love and support so far. And yes, like this video, share it with anyone who would find it interesting in any way. And yeah, I am going to end the video here. I'll see you in my next one.